Man, it must be hard being a Bears fan. No matter how bad the Packers have played this year, there's a lot of stuff we can talk about with the offense, the defense, the special teams, the coaching, and all of that. We can all agree this year, so far, hasn't been a great year. But yet, as the Bears franchise, still losing to the Packers both times in the season that they are not good. It must be hard being a Bears fan because it's a fact at this point. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers own the Bears. It is official. The Green Bay Packers have the most wins in NFL history with this victory over the Chicago Bears. They've been tied for a while, but the Packers have never taken that throne. And today they finally did with their victory over the Chicago Bears, 28-19, moving their record up to a 5-8, dropping the Bears to 3-10. And I'm not going to lie, the beginning of this game looked rough. It looked like the normal Packers we're used to seeing this year. Just the same mistakes, the same holes on defense, the same issues on offense. They went into half down by 6, get the ball to start the second half, an instant 3-and-out, I believe it was, and it just looked normal. But then something changed at the end of that third quarter where the offense started to click, and it was ran through with A.J. Dillon running the ball, getting the ball into Christian Watson's hands, and Aaron Rodgers making some easy throws. And it wasn't a perfect day by Aaron Rodgers. He honestly didn't play that well today. He obviously did enough to win this game. 18 of 31, 182 yards, a touchdown, and an 85.7 quarterback rating. But at least he didn't throw an interception, and like I said, he did enough to win this game. Huge day by A.J. Dillon. I feel like this offense really ran well through A.J. Dillon, and he's starting to heat up. I feel like the moment it turns December, and you're trying to tackle A.J. Dillon in the cold, it's not going to end well for you. A.J. Dillon, 18 carries, 93 yards, 5.2 average, and 1 touchdown. That really nice touchdown on that 21-yard carry around the left side. The second leading rusher, Christian Watson, who sealed the game. This dude, all this guy does is score touchdowns. I mean, Christian Watson, man, all he does is score touchdowns on the end around, on the crosser, or the crosser in the back of the end zone where he made a really nice catch. Christian Watson, that one rush for 46 yards, that end around that they were setting up all game that actually ended up giving A.J. Dillon his rushing touchdown. The fake jet touch pass to Christian Watson opened up that left side. And then late in the game, the Packers need a first down to seal it, hand it to Christian Watson, and all he has to do is say goodbye, because that dude is faster than anyone on the Bears defense, and that proved true on that rushing touchdown. Aaron Jones, very quiet day, 9 carries, 26 yards, 2.9 average. He is banged up. Injury report all week with a shin/glute injury as well, and he was kind of like checked out of the game in the third to fourth quarter, and then he randomly came back in, and it looked like he got hurt again. Hopefully he's all good, but at least A.J. Dillon, picked up the slack and ran really hard today. As for other receiving stats for the Packers offense, Allen Lazard, 5 receptions, 67 yards, was very crucial on third downs and just converting first downs in general. Christian Watson was the second leading receiver, 3 receptions, 48 yards, and a touchdown. A.J. Dillon, 3 for 26. Aaron Jones, 5 for 24. So they did use Aaron Jones a lot in the passing game. Outside of that, Robert Tonyan a catch, Samori Toure catch, but weirdly enough, Randall Cobb did nothing against the Bears, which is really weird. That Randall Cobb has no yards against the Bears, because I feel like this dude always torches the Bears. But hey, the Packers won without him pretty much. So as for the Packers defense, I still think they had the same struggles as they did last week. And that makes sense because Justin Fields is a similar, it's like a poor man's Jalen Hurts, I guess you could call him, but a really good runner. And we saw what Jalen Hurts did against the Packers defense running the football last week. And we go into this game, and I think Justin Fields had that 55-yard read option touchdown. I'm like, great. Like, this happens last week. You would think going into that game, into this next game, Justin Fields is a great runner. You would try to stop him from running the football, and you force him to throw, which is what they did late in the game, and it proved to work because, ended up getting 2 interceptions on him. But Justin Fields is a great running quarterback, and the Packers didn't really have an answer for him. So it was kind of weird to see in the second half Justin Fields with like 2 carries, whereas in the first half, he was pretty much running wild in that 55-yard touchdown. He ended up with 6 for 71, 11.8 average. David Montgomery kind of held in check, I guess you could say. 14 carries, 61 yards, 4.4 average, 1 touchdown. But overall, the Bears ran 25 times for 155 yards, a 6.2 average, and 2 touchdowns. As for the pass defense, Justin Fields didn't have many yards, a little over 250, but he threw really well. Outside of the 2 interceptions, he only had 3 balls that fell incomplete if you don't include the interceptions. He was 20 for 25, 254 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 75.7 rating. So when it mattered, he threw those interceptions. And Jair Alexander, way to come back, because, he was getting beat a lot this game. Equanimeous St. Brown, N'Keal Harry, both on pretty much double moves, just really great ran routes, and Jair bit on them and got beat. And way to come back, Jair Alexander. That's what football's about, making mistakes and then making them back up and making a play. And he pretty much sealed this game, essentially, Jair Alexander getting that interception. And then, of course, the last interception to officially put the dagger in the Chicago Bears was the horrible pass by Fields on the right side. They're already down by 9 points. Keyshawn Nixon made a nice play on the ball. I think it was thrown to Pettis on that play, but just a horrible ball. And this is a typical thing. The Bears to end the game down by points, throwing an interception to the Green Bay Packers. I feel like you could say that, and that would account for dozens and dozens of Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears games. But overall, with a win here, the Packers are still not eliminated from playoff contention. It's going to take a lot for them to get there, but at the end of the day, it can still happen. And I've seen some crazy things happen over the years of my NFL fandom, not only with the Green Bay Packers, but just in general. Right now, they sit at 5-8. There's a few more teams that are 5-8. Atlanta Falcons, Arizona Cardinals are 4-8. Carolina Panthers are 4-8. The Bucs are 5-6. The Seahawks are 6-5. But it's going to really come down to the NFC East, how that plays out, because as of now, all 4 teams in the NFC East are making the playoffs, which is absolutely insane. The Giants are 7-4. The Commanders are 7-5. The Cowboys are 8-3. And of course, the Eagles are 10-1, and obviously are likely going to get the number 1 bye. Hopefully they do over the Vikings. But it's going to come down to either like a team like the Giants or the Commanders, crashing and burning and losing a lot of games late this year. Actually, as I'm recording, the Commanders-Giants game is in overtime right now. They are tied 20-20. So obviously one of these teams are going to get a loss unless they end up tying, which might throw a little wrench in all of this math for the Packers potentially making the playoffs. But like I said, they're not officially out. They have a bye week coming up. They finally got a win. Maybe, just maybe, a little momentum is built. They changed some things over the bye week, and it's a whole new team coming out after the bye. We'll see exactly what happens, but nonetheless, they're not officially eliminated. Aaron Rodgers will stay in at quarterback as long as that's the case. If they do end up officially getting eliminated, I would assume at that point, then Jordan Love would come in, and I guess, we hope for a highest draft pick as possible. But until that's the fact, you go out there and you play to win the game. The Packers, after their bye, have a Monday Night Football matchup against the Rams, who are even more of a dumpster fire this year than the Green Bay Packers. That should be a win. And like I said, a win here, a bye, and hopefully a win against the Rams, that could spark some momentum. And at minimum, the Packers have to win out. They have to win out, and they have some tough games ahead, but that's the minimum. And then obviously, like I said, a lot more is going to have to happen for them. But hey, just like this is not the same team, not even close as 2010, but in 2010, they barely snuck in as a 6th seed. So things can happen. Things can change late in the year. I've seen crazier. The Packers, as Aaron Rodgers said, are not dead yet. But that about does it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you are new here and want more Packers news, analysis, and updates, go down, click that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and turn on post notifications. But I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.